make a tortilla soup in the Instant Pot. It's so fast and easy. As a matter of fact, you can pretty much dump and go. But we're gonna do just a little bit of work today. We're gonna saute some things up. So we're gonna turn our pan on here. We're going to push saute. Now you'll notice on the Instant Pot, there's options. If you push it again, it goes to less, to normal, or to more. We're gonna do the more for now so that it will get hot at the beginning, and then we'll turn it down a little bit so we don't burn things. Okay, since this is heating up, we're gonna put just a little bit of oil in there. Let that warm up. Then the first thing I like to do with my vegetables is I take my garlic. We have our 2 cloves of garlic here, and we wanna mash them. The reason you wanna mash your garlic is because there are some components in the garlic that when it's mashed or cut up or minced, they mix together to form allicin, which is a phytonutrient, and that's when you read about garlic and how good it is for you, that's why it's actually good for you. So we want to give that about 10 minutes to sit, and while that's sitting, we're going to work on our other ingredients. So we'll get our onion. I just like to slice my onion real quick. And then I throw it in. You guys have seen my very favorite little kitchen tool here. This is the Vidalia onion food chopper. Makes chopping so fast. We'll throw that in our pan here and let that start working. And we'll do our pepper. Doesn't matter if we get some pepper seeds in there. This works best if you put it flat side down. This was a pretty big pepper, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those in a little bit smaller pieces. While that's cooking, it's a good time to open up your cans and get your packages open because the rest of this recipe is going to go super quick. Okay, our onion and our pepper have been sauteing up here for a little while, and our garlic got to sit for a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and peel that and mince it and add it in there so it can saute just a little bit as well. Now, if it did start to stick, you could go ahead and add some of your broth to loosen it up. If you want to make this recipe lower sodium, you can get low sodium broth, low sodium beans, low sodium corn, or partially low and partially not. We'll add our beans. We're gonna just dump the whole can in with the juice because it's soup. If you wanted to, you can rinse them. Put our corn in with all the juice as well. We're going to take our jar of green enchilada sauce. If you prefer red, you can do that, but with this recipe, I've tried it both ways and I really like the flavor of the green. This is a big can of it, okay? It's 28 ounces, not the regular small one. So we'll just add that in. And we've got a package of frozen spinach. We have a bag of the Morningstar crumbles. I like to get the bigger bag, but you can use a smaller bag if you prefer. We'll dump that in. We have a teaspoon of chili powder and a teaspoon of cumin that we're gonna add in. If you wanna make this spicier, you could add some more hot pepper or something in there. We're gonna give it a good stir. Okay, that's it. Now we're just gonna put our lid on. Gonna make sure it's on tight, and we wanna make sure the back is set to sealing. And then we're just gonna press our buttons up front. Now, since we have been cooking on sauté, we're gonna have to cancel that out. Then we're gonna push pressure cook, and we only need 5 minutes. If you'd like to use dry beans for this recipe, you could certainly do that. 2 cans of beans is usually about 3 cups. So you could add, I found with dry beans, it's about 1 1/4 cup dry. And then after you soak them and cook them up, you're gonna get pretty close to that 3 cup mark. So you could, have soaked and rinsed some dry beans and throw them in this and cook them that way. If you do that, you wanna increase the length of your cooking time because you have to have time to cook those beans. You want 30 minutes on high pressure for everything to get done. But since everything is pretty much pre-cooked on this, we're just gonna pressure cook it for a few minutes, soften up those veggies a little bit more, and just kind of incorporate all the flavors. So that's why I just do it for 5 minutes. Remember, this soup can be super easy because you don't have to saute those veggies. When you're pressure cooking, you can throw everything in there and set it to go. Also, if you wanted to make it gluten-free, you could get a different type of vegetarian burger to throw in there. There's lots of different ones that don't have any gluten in them. And then your soup would be also gluten-free. All right, our timer went off, so we're gonna let it in. Let's check it out. All right, we're gonna serve this up here. It looks delicious. My beautiful bowl here that my friend Connie made. You can garnish this up with your favorite toppings. I have some fresh cilantro here. I like to put freshness on the soup. Just makes it taste good. Some avocado, some scallions, and then to give it a little crunch for fun, we're gonna put a few corn chips on the top. Ready to eat. When I make up a big batch of soup, I love to put it in canning jars with the lids on it while it's, like my sister-in-law says, piping hot. Because that hot in here, it will actually seal the jar. Now it's not sealed so that it can go on the shelf stable, but it's good sealed that you can keep it in your refrigerator for weeks. And I like to do that so that I can have meals ahead of time for my small family. And that way, whenever we want it, we can just pull it out and it's ready to go. I'm making a mess. I'm good at making messes. Just clean the top of your jar off really good before you put your lid on so it gets a good seal. Let it out and you're going to hear it pop. It's the most exciting sound when you're putting things in jars.